Arsenal is taking on Fulham today, and Arteta has addressed the Emile Smith-Rowe threat and other players that Arsenal have gone ahead obviously sell and loan to the side of Fulham. Good enough, the players they loan to Fulham cannot obviously face them, but those they sold permanently are really going to be facing them. That is what you're really getting in through from the man or the gaffer himself from the club of Arsenal. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And Rokani David is my name, and this is the Rokani Media Football. You're powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And even if you want a used phone and a used laptop from the United Kingdom, call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and the rest will be history. You can as well call them on the same number if at all you want what we call used phones, right? Do you know what they call used phones? Used phones is what you're talking about. If you want a used phone, call them onto that number and the rest will be history. That is it. So let's get straight into what Arteta really has to say about the Arsenal contingent that is really playing at Fulham, a team they're really going to be playing today. And in some time to come, I'm going to be bringing you the confirmed team news. Asked Arteta on Fulham's ex-Arsenal contingent, he said, "I'm really happy for them. Reece Nelson is still one of our own, but the rest as well, and it will be great to see them." Now, obviously, Bernard Leno and Emile Smith-Rowe have been sold to the club of Fulham, and after them being sold to the club of Fulham, obviously, they can obviously face Arsenal. But as I told you in the match preview, that Reece Nelson is not eligible to play against Arsenal. You understand? He's not eligible to play against Arsenal. So he's out of the tie. But obviously, Emile Smith-Rowe and Bernard Leno are really going to be doing the need. If I told you that Emile Smith-Rowe is really doing great, I think he now has, 4 goals and 3 assists this season, meaning that he's still riding. And don't be surprised when he's one of those to torment Arsenal today, if at all it doesn't go the side of Arsenal. Then Arteta was asked on being reunited with Emile Smith-Rowe this weekend. He says, "It was a very tough decision, obviously, to let Emile Smith-Rowe go, especially because personally, I feel really grateful for what he did for the club and for me. In that period of time, I think he was instrumental in changing some things around it, but in the end, players have to play. He had a lot of difficult moments as well, a lot of struggles with injuries when we were together, and he needed that fresh start. It's normal. We understood and let him go." So, obviously, he's like, something is not really working on well. Something was not working on well for Emile Smith-Rowe. And the manager was like, "I never wanted him to leave because he's part of my history at Arsenal." Remember, Emile Smith-Rowe was one of the players that went ahead to obviously take center stage in really taking Arsenal to where it is right now, especially in that season of 2021, 2022. He was really a very good player. And you remember, I came out here and really told you that 2022, 2023 was going to be his big season. You understand? But unfortunately, you know what happened? He got injured. And he became an injury-prone player at Arsenal, and he couldn't obviously come and really compete into that team. And Martin Odegaard went ahead to obviously represent himself to the fullest into that team. And remember, he was one of those players that played off the left attacking side of the midfield and put in a very huge shift for the club of Arsenal. And I think the manager was like, Martinelli can do the job. And I think the reason why they even went to the market to bring in Leandro Trossard was because of their fear of Emile Smith-Rowe to be physically fit all the time when they need him to represent for the club of Arsenal. So if he had gone ahead to keep himself fit, I think he would have gone ahead to obviously find himself in a position of really playing for the club of Arsenal till now, because the Trossards wouldn't have gone ahead obviously coming through, but they felt a void that needed to be filled. And that's why they brought in these other players that went ahead obviously be consistent, and he couldn't obviously match their levels. And the good thing is that he has gone at Fulham. He has played over 14 games in the league, and even today, he's really going to be showing up to the fullest to see to it that all really moves on well as planned. So, I want to let you know that Emile Smith-Rowe is a very good player, and even today, you're really going to see his impact into what he's really going to be doing at the club of Fulham, as Arsenal plays at Craven Cottage. So we wait to see how that pans out, but it's really going to be a highly competitive game, as I told you. Though I believe Arsenal can really get even a clean sheet throughout that game. Arteta on whether he's still in touch with Emile Smith-Rowe. She said, once they leave, you have to leave them to do their own thing. Obviously, once in a while we speak to them, but I'm very grateful for what they did for us, and I wish them the best for now. Obviously, when you look at the bond they really had, I don't think that it's hard for them to obviously keep in touch and obviously be talking to one another. I think they are still in touch, they are talking to one another, and they're obviously finding themselves in a proper position of obviously giving in the best of the best as expected. Though I don't think it's on the regular, but I think Arteta will obviously find a position where he really feels like he should be talking to this young lad, and he will be talking to him all the time, because when he sees a game and he sees something that he should improve on, I think he obviously has to call him. And even when he obviously does some things particular to obviously keep on to take him to where he deserves to be, I think it will be on. And I believe that Smith-Rowe is one of those players that I see that at a certain point X, he'll obviously return at Arsenal. That's what I really believe. I think he'll return at the club of Arsenal one time, because he's really showing extra quality in there for you. And all he needed was this time, play for 3 seasons. I tell you what, Arsenal will be all over you next time. Even if it's not Arsenal, I see him as a player who has the potential to play Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, name it. He will obviously go places, I tell you. That is Emile Smith-Rowe for you. Now, when it came to obviously talking about the game of Fulham, Arteta said it's going to be a big challenge, which we experienced last year when we lost 5 points against them. I've been very complimentary about them, the coach, and what they do. So it's always really a tough place to go. Obviously, it's always a tough place to go. If you haven't gone ahead to know, Fulham, Craven Cottage, the Cottages always make it hard for them to play because of the quality of their players and the brevity the players obviously expose onto the field of play. They're really very brave, and they're like, we are gonna go for everything that is ours. And so if you want to enjoy a beautiful game of football, I think this is one of those that you'll obviously want to enjoy, because they'll open up, they won't obviously close up, they'll be like, let's go in for you. So that's what exactly is going to be happening at the Craven Cottage. But I know Arsenal will emerge as winners today, because they can't really lose this golden opportunity of Liverpool missing out onto the game. And when they miss out on the game, you know what happens? That means they have a game in hand. And if at all Arsenal win today, they will impose more pressure to Liverpool, because they will be 4 points behind them. And Arsenal next weekend, let's check who they're really going to be playing and who Liverpool is going to be playing. Premier League fixture, where are you? Next weekend, Arsenal might continue to close down on Liverpool, because Arsenal is playing Everton. All right? Arsenal is playing Everton next weekend, and Liverpool is going to be hosting Fulham. So that is it. And there is another game of Liverpool facing Tottenham Hotspur coming in through. So I tell you, all is okay, and all what Arsenal need to is to get 3 points. Get 3 points from this encounter. After getting 3 points, it won't really stop. It will keep going on as planned. So your reactions to Arteta addressing Emile Smith-Rowe threat ahead of this game of football, or this game of Fulham, are welcome in the comment section below. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. Call them on +256 70 99 88 665. And even if you need a used phone and a used laptop, call them on that number. Even if you are interested in what we call an affordable smartwatch, go ahead and obviously talk to them. They'll obviously serve you to your biggest purpose. I'm out for now. See you later. Bye-bye.